Well, 20 teams have contested the Women's European Championship Finals tournament, and Wales now bring that number to 21. A milestone moment in their history, decades in the making, and it's brought to you on TalkSport 2, albeit with a rather hairy moment from kick-off as Rhiannon Roberts played straight back to goalkeeper Olivia Clark, who was then set upon by the Dutch attack. So, Lucerne the venue, Group D the setting, will now become tougher with England and France meeting later on at 8 p.m. That's on TalkSport 2, TalkSport I should say, here on TalkSport 2. We'll see how this one pans out for Wales, who've come into it as the rank outsiders, ranked 30th and lowest out of all 16 teams taking part. The other three firmly entrenched inside the top 10. So the opening minute has largely passed without incident. Wales in their red shirts, kicking as Rhiannon Skinner and I look at it from right to left. And the join play with a goal kick for Olivia Clark. She set it down centrally in a 6-yard box. It's out to the near side, Wales left, towards Lily Woodham. The referee's whistle has gone for over officious challenge in the centre circle. Frida Klarlund from Denmark is the woman in the middle today. We do have a video assistant referee as well from Serbia, Momcilo Markovic. We'll hope we don't see too much of him. And actually, after all that preparation, Rhiannon, I think that Wales might have shifted their team around again.
Yeah, they have, yeah. So basically, the back five, Woodham, left wing back, Esther Morgan, left centre back.
And the Dutch come on the attack here with Victoria Pelova up towards the corner flag, turned onto a left foot, was crowded out well, and sent back towards the touchline by Esther Morgan. The Dutch will try again. Blue shirts crowding around Pelova. Tight to the corner flag was Kirsten Kasparai of Manchester City. And Wales, with 11 players behind the ball, have sent them back to try again. This time down their far side left flank with Jill Roord, spinning away to bring in Barcelona's Esme Brooks up against Josie Green. And the Crystal Palace defender got in well, slide tackle, and out for a Dutch throw-in, 0-0.
Yeah, so the back five is Lily Woodham, Esther Morgan, Gemma Evans, Rhiannon Roberts and Josie Green at right wing back. And the midfield four, Hannah Kane on the left, and Harry James, Hayley Ladd central, Kerry Holland on the right, and Jess Fishlock is acting as their sole striker.
Well, they have kept us guessing.
They have.
I've always wondered if coaching staff do indulge in a little bit of that and keep indirectly the media, but directly the opposition, wondering just who they're going to be playing against and in what shape until we cross the whitewash at the start of the game. Well, there we have it.
I'm not sure I can reveal those sorts of trade secrets.
Rhiannon Skinner, the West Ham boss, joining me, a former member of the Welsh campus assistant boss. And 3 minutes in, we have no goals and little action in this opener from Group D. Let's get the thoughts of our Wales reporter then. Abby Davis, what are you thinking of these opening minutes? What are you hearing?
Yeah, quite interesting actually. Before the game kicked off, Sophie Ingle, who of course won her race against time to recover from that ACL injury and just make the squad, on the bench today, but interestingly brought in to give the final team talk to the side, pitch side. One of the players, of course, who has played such a pivotal role over the years. Just her inclusion in the squad, a huge boost to her teammates, but it was her words that were used to G the side up just before they got the game underway. No surprise is there to see the Netherlands the quickest to settle, but that's going to be key. Rhiannon Wilkinson saying the busy brains of the Welsh players today. How are they going to handle that? And there's an
here comes Jill Roord into the penalty area, curling a right-footed shot. Goalkeeper's parried it and fumbled the second effort. Wales have scrambled it clear and the whistle had gone. Well, Olivia Clark got in there. She rather flapped at the first effort, got surer hands behind the second as it threatened to fly in under a crossbar, and then the assault came from the Netherlands. She was covered in blue shirts and the referee has sided with the goalkeeper. Wales are cleared it anyway, but they have a free kick. However, a first warning shot from the Dutch.
Yeah, just thinking that moment, what happened that led to that was Jill Roord so clever at getting in between lines into those little pockets in front of the Wales back line. She received it and then they managed to get down the left hand side, and obviously from that point they cut into the box and created this chance.
We were wondering for a second if there might have been video assistant referee intervention there. They were just checking in the background about a potential handball as Wales get their first run forward. Jess Fishlock chasing down an errant ball that finds its way to goalkeeper Daphne van Domselaar. Here come the Netherlands again. Palova at 0-0. Near side the Netherlands right, putting back towards the edge of the attacking third. Kasperai was the target, and it's slid away by Hannah Kane of Leicester. 5 gone. So far, Wales have contained their higher-ranked opponents. 3 teams who are expected to do well in this group. And Wales have made it clear they're not here to make up the numbers. Came through 2 gritty qualifying matches through the playoffs against Slovakia and then against the Republic of Ireland, culminating in an enthralling second leg in Dublin back in December. 2025 has not been as happy a year as they exceeded to the top level of the UEFA Nations League. No victories, just 2 points from their 6 games. And no warm-up fixtures either for Wales. We saw the likes of England and the Netherlands. They were in action beating Finland. Wales are defending again as Mika Kaptein comes through the middle, runs into a barrage of red shirts, and it's out for Netherlands thrown at 0-0 just on that react. So Wales, the choice of not playing any warm-up friendlies, that's not standard fare in warming up to a major tournament.
No, not at all. But Rhian Wilkinson said quite clearly she had opportunities to play certain teams, but the style of play wouldn't have suited the preparation for this game. And sometimes you've got to make those choices on what you think is going to be right for your team.
Rhian Wilkinson in charge of this Welsh side, former Canadian international, appointed just prior to the start of qualifying, and has led his team to its first major finals. It's just their 17th game in charge, and already the change is there to be seen. Listening to TalkSport 2, Wales 0, Netherlands 0 after 7 minutes in Lucerne. A stadium that stood since the 1930s, but it's one of the gluts of modern stadia that have been picked out. For this one, it was given a facelift 15 years ago. And Wales are getting one view of it, and that's of their defensive third, because Esme Brooks comes again down the left-hand side into the penalty area. Looking to turn was Miedema, and she was shimmied away from the ball by Gemma Evans. She apologises, Miedema, to her side, the Dutch captain. And the Orange fans, clad in their trademark colours, and 3 sides of this ground have been kept quiet so far.
Yeah, the same thing just happened that created that entry into the box for Miedema, which was Jill Roord getting in the pocket on their left-hand side, so the Wales right-hand side. Wales have got to figure out how flat to stay in their midfield for, because being in that pocket is meaning either a central midfielder or a centre-back has got to step out and deal with Jill Roord, but because she's going quite wide, it's an overload against Wales, and they've not solved it yet, and it's created them 2 problems already.
And it's think on your feet time now, isn't it? The time for team talks is long gone. 8 minutes down. The Netherlands contenting themselves with just passing the ball around their back 4 with Kirsten Kasperai. Jackie Frunen not allowed to go any further, so it's all the way back to the yellow-clad Van Domselaar. And this time they'll try down the left-hand side with Fela Berman, Chelsea's Brooks. Jill Roord and Esme Brooks combining to take it over halfway. The Wales are there to pick it up. Long ball over the top towards Hannah Kane, who couldn't control. She was swiftly borne down upon by Kasperai. Wales still struggling to get boot on ball. That one chance for the Dutch so far. Jill Roord coming forward and cutting in at the long flank with a right boot and curling one at Olivia Clark, which was juggled and palmed away at the second attempt. Ball through the middle for the Netherlands, looking for Miedema. It was stopped well. And the sliding tackle of Gemma Evans. And here comes Lily Woodham with the ball down the flank, looking for Jess Fishlock. Now can she go forward? Into the defender she runs, and it's Dominic Janssen who gets a defensive boot on it, and out for a Wales throw. Positive signs.
Yeah, it's a great little run from Jess Fishlock there. Lily Woodham's just opened up. They've managed to win the ball. Gemma Evans done 2 important blocks already, and then just given it to Esther Morgan. Lily Woodham's found Jess Fishlock in behind, and she's just tempted Janssen to make a tackle to get a throw in the final third.
Lily Woodham has been told to hurry up by the referee in terms of taking this throw in, and she's taking it back towards the centre circle. Wales lost a little bit of ground, but having their first confident spell of possession inside their opposition's half as the stadium clock ticks past 10 minutes. It still reads Wales 0, Netherlands 0. Here comes Kerry Holland down the right flank, but a first touch let her down under pressure. And it's come off her toe and out for a dead ball to the Netherlands. So no score in this game so far. Next up for Wales, it will be France before they meet England in the final group game. I read a statistical predictor earlier on, Rhian, and it said that Wales had a 9% chance of qualifying in either of the top two slots. Now, I don't know how much you read in to that kind of thing. Some people would say that was generous. Some people are saying they're writing off an underdog.
I just think it's more motivation. That's how I think about it. So ultimately they've done everything possible to get to this point. You should never write anybody off, because on anybody's day, you know, if you get the togetherness right, if you get the game plan right, you know, and you sometimes need a little bit of luck on your side, you can get results, and that's what matters. That's why we all love football, because that can happen.
Still goalless in Luzerne. Wales 0, Netherlands 0, as Fishlock, who's covered a lot of grass so far, is, well, she thought she was fouled 20 yards inside her own half. Referee said no against the intervention from Dominic Janssen. So Netherlands starting again just inside Wales territory. So even positive noise coming out of the Wales camp, embracing their tag of underdogs. And while the Netherlands, it's not been plain sailing for them. They left until the very last match day of qualifying to book their slot in the tournament with an important draw against Norway. As Wales come forward over halfway. Here's Kerry Holland looking for the back post and Hannah Kane. It was slightly overhit. Kane is going to chase this one and does well to get there first ahead of the defender and wraps it up the shins of Daniela van der Donk. And it will be a Wales throw.
Yeah, it's just a quick switch of play, break from midfield, so quick transition out to Kerry Holland, and actually, do you know, she's got a lot more space to make a better goal than that, to be honest, and Hannah Kane's done well to knock it off Daniela van der Donk to get a throw in. There's signs though going forward, and we knew that anyway, you know, with pace that they can travel with.
Throw-in taken by Woodham, up by the corner flag for Wales, attacking at 0-0, getting a crossing as well, but there's nobody in read up by the goalkeeper. And in the end, Van Dokselaar was allowed to just watch that fly harmlessly through her 6-yard box. And out for a throw-in, it has gone. No score on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for Wales is when they do have those spells in attack.
Brooks is giving us away here, and Wales might be back in play. Kerry Holland was then gesticulating at the assistant, didn't realise the ball was behind her, and crosses in towards Hannah Kane, over her head, and the referee's whistle has gone now for an offside on the far side, Wales right. So a moment of excitement. I don't think anything would have been allowed to come of it. It remains Wales 0, Netherlands 0 in Group D.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, there was a bit of a transition, little bouncing off players, and I think Kerry Holland managed to win the ball back from an offside, coming back on side from an offside position just there. In terms of the depth for Wales, the challenge will be is when they do break, it's just a long way, and it's hot. You can tell that. The players, both teams, are already feeling the heat. And so whenever you go, you've got to really make the most of those chances when you get forward, and you need the numbers up with you, you know, so it's quite a lot of work.
Those are the words of Rhian Skinner, 0-0 in Wales' Group D opener. They've conceded a free kick halfway inside their own half, though, a shove from Esther Morgan and Daniela van der Donk. Netherlands not forcing the issue at this early juncture, less than a quarter of an hour gone. And they do have it with Dominic Janssen threading through the middle towards van der Donk, who's trying to turn the defender, and it was well watched by Esther Morgan, who makes up for her earlier misdemeanor and clears out for a Netherlands throw. Halfway inside the Wales half. Andries Jonker, the Dutch manager, has had to just jump onto the field to rid them of a spare ball. Just all in black with white trainers. It was a hot evening as Lily Woodham has tried to run that one out of a defensive third and instead run it over the white line and into the technical areas. So, Netherlands throw it. And this will be the quarter-hour scoreline that Wales will have hoped for. given the way that the possession is panned out. 82% possession in the opening 10 minutes for the Netherlands.
Yeah, I think that's probably what anybody expected, to be honest. You know, Wales have got to find their feet. They've got to grow in a little bit of confidence, you know, in what they're doing as well. Any nerves on the big stage, get rid of that.
Here comes Vika Kaptein for the Netherlands, in towards Miedema in the penalty area, turns, dummies, then shoots into the crowd of bodies. It's sprung, fortunately for Wales, at the feet of Hannah Kane, who clears over halfway. So at the moment, Wales with all the answers for the questions, the numerous questions, it must be said, that the Netherlands are throwing their way. If you're just joining us, it has been the Dutch who've been on top without dominating. Wales have had a couple of forays forward into the attacking third, and but for a couple of overhit crosses, might have tested goalkeeper Daphne von Domselaar. One pair of saves that had to be made by Olivia Clark at the other end, as Wales give it away on the fringes of their defensive third. Headed from Jackie Groenen up towards Jill Roord at the apex of the penalty area, turns onto her right foot, crosses towards the back post, Van der Dam heads it down. Wales trying to clear it, it's going to drop in the 18-yard box. Groenen with the effort, Wales get it clear, and it's still bouncing around on the fringes of the penalty area, and finally Josie Green does the sensible thing of getting boot to ball, and it's out for a throw. And Netherlands wanted to take it quickly, and Palace's Green is there again to quell any uprising. 16 minutes gone, and it's Wales 0, Netherlands 0. Let's get the thoughts then of our Wales reporter, Abby Davis.
Yeah, not really the news we would have wanted at this stage. Goalkeeper Olivia Clark has just gone down inside the area. She didn't think she was going to be able to. She thought the Netherlands were going to take a quick throw in, but she has gone down. Difficult to see at the moment what has plagued her. Doesn't seem to have come into contact with anyone. Of course, she was withdrawn early from the Italy game, the final game played before coming here to play at the Euros. She's down receiving treatment at the moment. Doesn't appear to have come and collided with anyone, but she's down receiving treatment. Doesn't look to be in too much pain, just going through some routines on her lower leg at the moment, so I'll keep you posted with that. It has presented, though, an opportunity for the other players to go across, have a few drinks, and a word from Rhian Wilkinson, who is currently barking orders at her players.
Thanks, Abby. You are listening to Women's Euro Live on TalkSport 2 with McDonald's. Try the big arch now. As indeed, we're still awaiting the results of treatment for Olivia Clark, who has gone down, as Abby said, in the penalty area. She's righted herself now. Wales do have options on the bench. Safia Middleton-Patel, the 20-year-old Manchester United player, would be the obvious replacement. She's won a handful of caps. They've also got the uncapped Poppy Soper in the squad. It does seem, though, that the Wales number 1 Clark is going to be able to continue. Tied in the green strip with yellow flecks, who's just been given a moment by the referee to right herself, as the referee rather sportingly fetches the ball. And the Dutch tried to take a quick free kick, and the play was stopped shortly after, so it's going to be a drop ball to Wales just inside touchline far side there right. 18 minutes gone on TalkSport 2. Group D action with England taking on France from 8 p.m. UK time on TalkSport later on. Joe Shannon and former England striker Tash Down will be your commentary team for that one. As we approach the 20-minute mark, Rhian Skinner. We've had a little lull in the game now, and Wales, we were pleased with what we were seeing before that. You've got to be careful, haven't you, after these kind of pauses?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether that was just a planned opportunity, to be honest. I mean, I think the last camp that Olivia Clark was in was a concussion that led to the removal from that game against Italy, and definitely there was treatment on her ankle at that point. So whether it's an injury, whether it's just, you know, a bit of pressure at that point, let's be smart, let's just delay, let's get some fluids on board, get some information in, and ultimately just get a breath again so that you can restructure what you're doing, make sure everyone's on the same page and that the game plan's working. It's just a really valuable opportunity to get a couple of quick bits of information in.
Jackie Groenen gone down for the Netherlands halfway inside her own half. No foul as Kerry Holland tries the cross. Didn't get the angle on it. We've seen a couple of times the same result from the Liverpool player. Wales looked as if they were waiting for the free kick against them. It was won back by Hayley Ladd. And when Holland did cross, he was unable to find the red shirt. And it was a routine catch for Van Domseraar. 0-0 between Wales and the Netherlands. This opening game in Group D. Forward come the blue shirts of the Dutch, with Victoria Pelova in the corner of the area. Overlapping was Kasperaj. And it was read well by Wales. And Harry James masterminding the clearance. It's a throw-in, taken short. McQuernan on the edge of the attacking third. Back into the defence. Netherlands go with the young Berman. Joined Chelsea on deadline day at the start of last season. She's one to watch, having spent this season on loan back in the Dutch league. A mix of youth and experience, this Netherlands side. Here comes another young talent in Esme Brooks. Barcelona player trying to twist and turn on the edge of the box. Nips the ball into the penalty area, but Vivianne Miedema was too far away. However, it's lost by Ladd. Netherlands still pressing on the edges of the attacking third, but with everybody in a red shirt behind the ball. And dip back towards halfway once more. Wales 0, Netherlands 0. And so far so good. Ryan Wilkinson's side with a move that hasn't come off at all. A long ball for the Dutch from Dominic Janssen. Straight out of play with one bounce. And a chance for Wales to catch their breath. No score.
Yeah, I think at the moment the biggest challenge that Wales face is down their right-hand side, really, with Esme Brooks being pushed higher. So the Netherlands are building with 3 at the back. Esme Brooks is going really high. Jill Roord's going out on that left-hand side for them as well, and they just haven't solved how to manage the numbers, Wales. So they're getting down that side with 2 very dangerous players very frequently.
Oh, Wales have lost it again, and the attacking third is now full of blue-shirted players. As quickly arriving was Daniela von der Donk, and she had to be sorted by the starting tackle of Gemma Evans, who did succeed in clearing the ball off the side of the field. Netherlands starting again, but this time in a less gung-ho manner. Indeed, more placidly, they'll play it out to their far side left flank with Esme Brooks, who miscontrolled the ball. Rhiannon Roberts to get a foot on it, who in turn miscontrolled, and the free kick has gone against her now for clattering into Esme Brooks. She's not happy about it. Rhiannon Roberts in the back of a difficult season at club level relegation with Real Betis, but she just overshot that one and left her mark on the Barcelona player. But Rhiannon Skinner, I'm not sure you agree.
No, I don't. You know, at the end of the day, Brooks has gone in to make a tackle. Roberts has got to the ball first, and you know, I'm not sure where she's supposed to go there. It's essentially, for me, it's an obstruction against Brooks. So, you know, when you're going to try and win the ball back, you know, she's going through the ball at that point. So.
Roord's free kick right into the centre of the penalty area. Header flicked away by Josie Green, and Wales have got themselves out to the flank with Lily Woodham to defend from the oncoming Pelova, who will quickly take the throw-in. The referee wasn't happy with it, and has sent it back. And Wales are asking the question, if you weren't happy with the throw-in, surely it should be a turnover. And the referee has said no, going back with the Dutch. So back to halfway they go this time. And the long ball once again, the carbon copy from the defence has gone straight over the head of Victoria Pelova, out for a dead ball. And a couple of quizzical refereeing decisions there, but no headlines from the opening 23 minutes. Abigail Davis is our Wales reporter. 23 minutes gone. It's the scoreline that Wales fans will have wanted. How do you see this one panning out? What's your take on the opening quarter?
The way that Wales have set up, or the way that they're dealing with things at the moment, they have been forced to sit quite deep because of the way that the Netherlands are playing. But like Rhiannon was saying, the quality and the decision making, the precision, if you like, when we do advance into dangerous areas, that's probably something that's been lacking over recent months. We've not made the best when we've worked our way into dangerous areas, and that's probably been the case again. We need to be making the most of those areas that we're getting into. It's not happening at the moment, and Lily Woodham has just been shown the first yellow card of this game for taking too long with a throw-in. So she is the first player to pick up a booking. How detrimental could that be, given what she's got to defend as well?
Well, we've seen a yellow card come out, as you say, Abby, for Lily Woodham, and now she was warned about taking too long over her restart. She was taking a throw-in, referee came straight across and brandished the yellow card. Now we've got a free kick for Wales following on from that, as Kerry Holland was thrown to the ground. But you're quite right, and we now have to think about the knock-on effect, because 2 yellow cards will count you out of the next game. The slate isn't wiped clean until the end of the quarter-finals. Lily Woodham, a yellow card in what could be a problematic area for Wales. I'll get Rhiann Skinner's thoughts in a moment, because Woodham herself is taking the free kick from just inside the Netherlands half, in towards the back post. It falls to a red shirt, but it can't find Fishlock, who was turning. I think it was Kerry Holland who flicked it down to it from an offside position, albeit the flag has now gone up. It remains for 25 minutes, Wales 0, Netherlands 0. But Rhiann, that yellow card for Lily Woodham.
Yeah, I think it's just, she has been warned. These are just the little bits that, maybe she's not quite thinking about in the heat of the moment with the game and the magnitude of what they're trying to achieve here, So sometimes you can just switch off from those little bits. Obviously it's important to stay focused. I think one of the things that we should mention as well, a couple of times whenever there's been a threat, Gemma Evans has been really solid in that back line. She's made some really crucial tackles and is clearly on the job at this moment in time. I think she's ready for anything going in behind.
Free kick in the Netherlands at 0-0, 25 and a half minutes gone. Dominic Janssen fouled by Jess Fishlock, who is apologetic and helping the Manchester United player off the deck. Just turned Fishlock and didn't see the defender behind her. I think she just caught her with the outstretched boot. If she did, it was the very end of the boot into the face of Janssen. No complaints there from Wales's most capped player. 38 years old, the Seattle Reign midfielder, 162 caps, 47 goals, a crucial goal against Slovakia in the playoff semi-final, second legger. A stunning long-range strike last time out against Italy in that final game of the Nations League campaign. The players are taking a drinks break owing to the high temperatures in Lucerne this evening. The score at 0-0, and don't forget more action coming up from the Women's Euros later on. Over on TalkSport, England versus France in this group. Kick-off 8 p.m. with Joe Shannon and Tash Dowie on commentary. Here on TalkSport 2 from 9 o'clock, we'll have Real Madrid taking on Dortmund in the quarter-finals of the Club World Cup. The Euro 2025 action continues on TalkSport 2 on Monday. After that, Spain versus Belgium. Spain, one of the front runners for this tournament after their opening 5-0 win. They take on Belgium at 5 p.m. as the action continues. Matchday 1 ending today with that England game. Players are back out and they will start again with Janssen back to her goalkeeper. Well, the longer this goes on at 0-0, I guess if you look at it from a Netherlands perspective, the more nervous, potentially the more frustrated they might start to get.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think, at this scoreline, obviously, Wales are still in the game, and that gives massive confidence to them. It starts to make the Netherlands think that maybe they've got to just force things a little bit more, and potentially you can see mistakes evolve when those types of scenarios occur. But I think for now, the discipline in the Wales team has been fantastic. They're really trying to stay organised. I've heard Rhian Wilkinson say a couple of times, just get the lines right, make sure it's tight. And so I think those little moments, you can tell they're trying to stay close enough together to be effective out of possession. Just the challenges we've spoken about will just be about the turnover and then getting the bodies higher up the pitch to be able to commit to that, and possibly set plays might become a real threat for Wales.
28 minutes gone, still 0-0 between Wales and the Netherlands as the Dutch come forward now with Kasper Eye, and she's got in behind the back of Esther Morgan and crossing to the back post, and the feet were outstretched but it couldn't find anybody in blue, and a grateful Josie Green was able to keep it in the Wales right back position. They clear away and now might be able to mount a counter attack. Here comes Kerry Holland down the right hand side, caught by Esme Brooks, and she didn't have too many red shirts around it. The Dutch are defending in numbers. Goalless we are on TalkSport 2, and Brooks back to her goalkeeper. Well, it's been a exciting, if nothing else. 29 minutes in, we've had plenty to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I think just then it's great defending from Rhiannon Roberts. She was really, really tight to Miedema as that ball's come across the box for the Netherlands, and has just made sure it's impossible for her to get across the front and get a touch on that. So it's good defending by Roberts.
Here comes Miedema in search of that 100th goal for the Dutch team, trying to turn. Failing to do so against Gemma Evans, went down to the ground, but there was no call, no request from the Dutch for anything, and it's with a roll to a centre-back that Olivia Clark gets us underway again. Still goalless on TalkSport 2. Wales' first game in the major finals. They had that heartbreak, and the preparation for the 2023 World Cup, beaten by an extra time goal against the Swiss in the playoff final. Fitting then, and in Switzerland they are able to make their first steps on the full international stage. Some of them made the team for well over a decade, some making their first steps. Here comes Kerry Holland. He's upended as she goes down the right flank up against Verna Boomen. Nearly 4,000 Wales supporters inside the Almond Stadion voicing their disapproval to the referee and not awarding a free kick as we pass the half-hour mark. Still no score at either end. Netherlands looking confident going forward. Wales have managed to absorb all that is thrown at them. It's another errant ball from Dominic Janssen. Not with two bounces and a goal kick to Wales.
I think Wales should be really pleased when the Netherlands are smashing it long like that, to be honest, because several times now it's gone straight off the back, because obviously the depth of Wales's defensive organisation's right. They're obviously not seeing options to play through as easily. So for me, I'd be congratulating the players on a good job of being organised and forcing an error in those moments. Those are little moments that you take the positives from within the game.
Chapeau from Leanne Skinner. Not needed again though, because here comes Daniela Fonderdonk crossing towards the back post. There were blue shirts in the middle, but Miedema missed it. And Joe Roord has kept it alive. Far side the Netherlands left. Coming up against Green to the byline. Chips across it. It's controlled by Ann-Harriet James. Doesn't panic. With the experience to Seattle Ray midfielder, and clears the ball away, not to a red shirt, but at least to the relative safety of the halfway line, and a Dutch throw-in. 31 and a half minutes gone. Wales 0, Netherlands 0.
I mean, I'm thinking on these turnovers, you know, there's Kerry Holland's fantastic in central areas, and they're trying to find her as an outlet quite a lot, and it's quite a lot of work on turnovers to get the ball up to her.
A chance here for Palova, trying to thread a ball through to Miedema, who was marked out of the game, and Gemma Evans once again with the touch to first clear the danger, and a second on the left boots to clear it out of play. Another Netherlands throw-in, near side there right. Daniela Fonderdonk, will be playing in the WSL next season, just signed for the newly promoted London City Lionesses. Back to Verna Boomen it goes. Here's Roord, right in the corner of the penalty area. Brooks over her shoulder, attacking for the Netherlands. Crossed in towards the back post. Head went in from Palova, didn't make contact with it. And in the end it's Hrun. Still for Netherlands on the attack at 0-0. Back out of the attacking third this time. Dominic Janssen now, with a co-centre-back Verna Boomen. Brooks forced out to the flank, being contained by Josie Green. Cross in towards the 18-yard box, not a threatening one though. Maybe Lily Woodham had a little bit more time, came up off her instep and curves the way for a Netherlands throw-in front of an pensive looking Dutch head coach Andries Jonker. Dominic Janssen starts again inside the own half. I'm getting some stats through to say that the Dutch have completed 3 times as many passes as the Welsh side now, but again, as Leanne pointed out, forced to go long. The latest long ball goes over the head of Victoria Palova, and it is harmlessly a goal kick to Wales again. 33 on the clock now, and it is 0-0.
Yes, Dominique Janssen, again, she's looking for Palova over the top to try and hit them in for pacing behind. They might be thinking that Esther Morgan's a little bit out of position there, wide centre back on the left, so maybe they're trying to put her under a little bit of pressure. But I think one of the other challenges, good tackle by Josie Green there. Whenever Esme Brooks gets the ball, Josie Green's got to get tighter. She's allowing her to cut inside, crossfield passes, they're looking for that back post all the time. Too many crosses are going in the box at the moment from unpressured positions.
Thrown to Wales. Josie Green is going to take it. 11 minutes out from half-time, barring extras. At the moment, they haven't had too many stoppages. Been a nicely flowing game, but for one brief pause to give some treatment to Wales goalkeeper Olivia Clark, who seems to be okay. Haven't had any more grumbles from the Wales number one. The atmosphere still continues to grow. Wales doing a good containment job. Again, let's get the opinion then of our Wales reporter Abigail Davis. How are your nerves doing, Abby?
Yeah, I think one of the main concerns and one of the main reasons that my nerves aren't holding up too well at the moment, to be honest, is the space out on the right-hand side, as we've just seen a thunderous effort.
Well, it cannoned back off the frame of the goal. It was struck, well, like gold dust. It was from Jill Roord. It came to her 30 yards out. There was nobody in red around it. Came from nothing, just one long ball. It wasn't dealt with by Rhiannon Roberts, and she crushed it into the very top of the post. Goalkeeper couldn't get near it, and that is by far the nearest that either side have come to breaking the deadlock. Smashed against the upright. And it was by Jill Roord. It remains Wales 0, Netherlands 0. And well, if Abigail Davis's nerves were shredded before that chance, I don't think they'll be doing too well after, as Wales come forward now, looking to try and release Kerry Holland. Nobody around her in red, but the defender Janssen is right on it. And both players will campaign for it. Holland thinks she's got a corner, and she has got one. And then Harry James is waving to the Wales fans in support. Close to 4,000. It's got to make them one of the best supported teams at the finals. They're all in their colours. The flags are waving. Those green, yellow and red bucket hats in the Swiss sunshine. And imagine the noise if this Lily Woodham corner finds a red jersey. We've got 9 minutes of the first half remaining. No goals so far on TalkSport 2. Woodham raising an arm in salute, curls it straight towards the defender, and Miedemar heading clear. Wales will come up with it though. Esther Morgan back in towards the penalty area, but it's not a ball of high quality. There were red shirts in there. It bounces twice and goes out for a Netherlands dead ball. Wales getting forward, Rianne Skinner.
Yeah, and you know, Lily Woodham's got great dead ball delivery, so you know she's delivered some free kicks already, corners in difficult areas to deal with. So like I said about set plays, there's chances for Wales in those moments. It's just a little bit of composure then from Esther Morgan. Obviously her experience is you know quite limited at the moment, and she's a really hard-working kid. I worked with her when I was at Tottenham. You know, she's really dedicated, committed, and will get up and down the pitch and do as much as she possibly can. It's just experience and decision making in these moments, isn't it? You know, and that's what she's got to learn today, and it will be a great opportunity for her.
Plenty of experience on both sides of the divide still. A mistake from the Netherlands. Jill Roord crossing for Kirsten Kasperai, let the ball pass under her foot, so Wales were throwing on halfway, and now they have another one. Let's see, the same player, but 20 yards further forward with 37 minutes. But have passed without a goal. And Lucerne and France opening their campaigns later on in this group of death. Kerry Holland entered the Netherlands penalty area. We thought there might be a flag, and it was belated in coming, but she was the Liverpool player in a suspicious amount of room.
Yeah, I think the run that she's trying to make is on the back shoulder of the centre-back, and yeah, it's a good idea, and Woodham's tried to look to just clip it over the back line, but she's definitely offside, unfortunately. But, you know, it's positive signs. They're trying to break lines. They're looking for those runs and chances.
Well, here's a run, but it's for the Dutch over the top towards Miedemar, and Evans is chasing to try and get back, takes it to the byline, and then wraps across back into the 6-yard box. I think she ran out of space, though, indeed, with the help of the assistant, with He discovered it did go dead, the ball, as she raced down towards the byline. But she fired it with too much power there, Miedema. 3 blue shirts to aim for in the middle. Got a bit of space there as Gemma Evans chased back. No harm in the end, and it's still Wales 0, Netherlands 0.
Yeah, I think there's just real positives to take out of this for Wales, and it's not long till half time. Need to continue to work incredibly hard. Great challenge in the air there, Esther Morgan, putting her body on the line there to win that header. And Wales are looking to jump now and start to get Van Domselaar under pressure, which they have, and it's going to drop to Wales again.
Well, poor clear from Van Domselaar. It was right down the throat of Anhara James, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's dropped to her. She's got nobody around her. I know the keeper's off her line, so she's probably tempted by a chance there, but it's just those little moments of composure.
There are a few more moments in this first half. 39 minutes gone. No goals between Wales and the Netherlands. Not one of the favourites, but certainly one of the outside picks for the tournament. The Dutch, they won on home turf 2 iterations ago under Serena Wiegman. Have flattered to deceive since quarter-finals at best in the World Cup, the Euros and the Olympics. To qualify for the Paris Games last year. It is a senior tournament in the women's game. And so the questions will be out if they fail to get the expected win. They've not been able to break Wales down in the opening, just shy of 40 minutes on TalkSport 2. Wales throw it on halfway to be taken by Josie Green. Temperature still high, the stakes still high. A ripple and a drumbeat comes from the Wales supporters. Many in number, as are the Dutch, as Esme Brooks clears and goes straight into the breadbasket of Carrie Holland, who is completely winded by that. She was stood only a yard away, and the referee is going to take a little pause here to allow the Liverpool midfielder to her feet. In fact, she's taken it off the chest and then into her face. And so with the way that football deals with concussion now, we're going to be extra careful with it. She was stood right downwind of that, Carrie Holland, and painful.
Definitely painful, but I've seen her take a lot worse than that in the WSL, to be honest. She's a tough cookie, Carrie Holland, so she's up now. Game's back on. Wales have managed to regain possession from the throw-in. Josie Green being really positive.
Here is Green back in with Brooks, and the defender got it tangled between her legs. It's a throw into Wales, and can they finish this half strongly? 41 minutes gone, no goals yet. Wales with a throw in 10 yards from the corner flag. Up towards Carrie Holland, with Brooks for company. Tries to wrap it against the shins of the Wales player, only succeeds in giving away another throw-in, this one adjacent to the corner flag, as Wales fans look on, holding their breath in anticipation. What a story this would be. The underdogs in the competition. One of 2 debutantes with Poland. Unheralded. Here comes Carrie Holland with the cross deep towards the back post, but it's over everybody. And Lily Woodham is going to chase it down to the corner flag. Back out to the edge of the attacking third. Esther Morgan forward, got a lucky ricochet that took it towards Woodham, and that is going to be another Wales throwing. Wales keeping the pace high, keeping the momentum flowing. Can they capitalise on the dying moments of the first period? In it goes to Esther Morgan with a back to goal. Quick 1-2 with Anhara James. Now Woodham corner of the area. Feign of innocence from Pelova, who she thought had fouled her. Only clear towards Fishlock. Wales coming forward now, and a shot from distance maybe from Josie Green. Got the deflection she wanted, and it is a corner with 3 minutes of normal time to play in the first half.
Yeah, this has been the best spell for Wales, for sure. Really positive, kept the ball in their final third. They've had throw-ins, they've had chances. They've been really positive to stay on the ball. Josie Green's cut inside there. Esme Brooks makes a tackle, which then allows the corner to come for Carrie Holland to take now.
Could this be the moment? A smattering of red jerseys in the penalty area. Netherlands defending. Wales looking to break this deadlock. Carrie Holland, right-footed, in swinger towards the front post. It was met by Fishlock. She was campaigning for handball, and it's going to be a corner again. Not a bad result for Wales. A smile on the face of Fishlock, and she's toyed with the idea of retirement before now. There was no way she was going to miss this after everything she's done in a Wales shirt, and she is enjoying her moment now as Wales go in search of this goal before half-time.
No, she's a fantastic character. There's no way. She's been hanging on to help Wales to qualify to make sure she could be at this type of event. After the career she's had, it's been phenomenal, and I'm glad to see her here.
In by Holland it is. Fishlock peeling away to go short, and Woodham bending a shot towards goal, but over the bar. And that was a chance for Wales there. She got right under the spear of the ball. There was a defender, Palova I think it was, closing her down on the edge of the penalty area. Had to shoot quickly, couldn't get the angle right. And it is Wales 0, Netherlands 0.
No, it's just a well-worked short corner though. Late run from Jess Fishlock, and she just passes it back into the corner of the box for Lily Woodham to run onto. If she uses her right foot there, she bends that, but she's obviously left-footed, so she's chosen to hit it on that side. She's just taken a bit of pressure then from Palova.
And noise continues to be brought by the travelling contingent from Wales. Strong in number and strong in voice as this half continues. The ball on halfway with the Netherlands at the moment. And I know of one Wales fan, Abigail Davis. They've been immense, haven't they, bringing the noise through this first half?
Yeah, they certainly have, and the performance has certainly grown and grown as the half has gone on as well, hasn't it? I think that bit of composure that we've mentioned that was lacking, we've seen it in the last 2 or 3 minutes, but now it is the Netherlands on the attack once
Viviana
again.
Miedema down the left-hand side, cutting back to the edge of the penalty area. Shot deflected from Roord, and it's going to go out for a corner. The Netherlands going to have a chance to strike right at the end of this period. In the last 10 minutes, probably go as far as to say that Wales have been the better attacking side.
Yeah, I agree. I think the quality that they've had on the ball, the confidence is growing. This is what, it's typical in football. You've got to grow into a game. There's a lot of factors coming into this game for Wales, but they're working so hard.
Here comes Roord, out swinger, bending towards the front post, defensive header from Hara James is the one. As Perry Holland chases this down towards Kirsten Kasperai, who is the deepest lying Netherlands should not look ready. So she's gone all the way back to her goalkeeper at 0-0 as we pass into 3 minutes of added time. A generous 3 minutes, I'm thinking, at the end of the first half. Wales 0, Netherlands 0.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure where that's come from, but look, I think they're in a good position, Wales, at the moment. They've had quite a few turnovers as well that have worked in their favour. Defensively, they're defending in their own half now, just keeping things really tight to get through to half time. But again, that corner comes in, big headers, big blocks when it's mattered.
Esme Brooks now, dangerous 35 yards out from goal. Might have been dangerous if she'd managed to avoid. And Hara James with her pass though. And Hannah Kane clears for Wales from halfway inside her own half. 2 minutes of added time remaining. First game of Group D, Wales 0, Netherlands 0. Even a point would be a massive shock for a side who have not once featured in the predictions for the lineup for the quarter-finals. Netherlands coming forward in the centre circle. Daniela van der Donk trying to make a show of space. In the end it's Shaki Groening. Still inside Netherlands territory. Now with Veerle Berman. Over halfway now. Viviana Miedema's dropped very deep, but she's picked the ball up and trying to capitalise. Now with the 1-2. The second ball was loose and Hannah Kane able to take it back for Wales. 90 seconds of added time remaining. Still goalless. Perry Holland over halfway. Ball is shortened towards Jess Fishlock, who goes down. Right under the eyes of the Danish referee, who was unmoved. And the Netherlands start again, just starting to sense their threat now as we come towards the final salvos of this first half. Miedema making space for Daniela van der Donk. Up against Josie Green. Edge of the penalty area now. Miedema dummying on the left foot, now on the right, and shooting toward the top corner, and it's a brilliant goal. And it's so harsh on Wales. Viviana Miedema. Well, we know what she can do, but it comes at a point where Wales are playing some of their best football. And with less than a minute to go before half-time, it is the Dutch's all-time leading scorer with a moment of magic from outside the penalty area, who ripples the net in the Dutch side's favour. It's Wales 0, Netherlands 1.
Yeah, it's so disappointing. 1 minute away from half-time, and it's come from that same pocket that Jill Roord was trying to exploit at the start. But look, as a defender, you can't keep gambling whenever a player takes a step one side. When you overcommit and you dive, it makes them cut on the other side, and she's so intelligent, Viviana Miedema, at spotting that overcommitment. And what it's done is it's opened up the far corner, so she's moved the player on purpose to be able to get a free shot off. and you know, we know what quality she's got. 100 goals is that in 126 games. That is a phenomenal stat. So disappointing for Wales though.
Spot on. It is now a century of goals for Vivianne Miedema, but for Wales, who have shown the very best of themselves in the last 10 minutes of this half, notably. Looks like they're going into the sheds in a moment, but nothing to show for it. They've started from kick-off with a free kick just inside the Netherlands half. And so there are 6 red shirts forward, waiting for this ball from Kerry Holland. It dropped almost for Rhiannon Roberts. Netherlands have cleared their lines and will now walk it out of the penalty area with Shaki Groenen. That is indeed going to be the final play. Thanks, Abby. Well, second half about to get underway with Netherlands leading by 1-0. I've got the former Wales assistant boss Rhiannon Skinner alongside me. Esther Morganoff, Ella Powell on. Well, they had to change something and look to the second half, and that's what they've gone with.
Well, it's what we were talking about just before half-time there. Josie Green's now the left centre-back. Ella Powell has got loads of pace. Theo Morgan, a number 9, but can also play wide. Loads of pace. You know, those are things that you can definitely utilise to exploit this left-hand side for the Netherlands. So Ella Powell hopefully gets an opportunity to go and do that and support Kerry Holland a little bit quicker when they're trying to use that as an outlet.
So, if you're just joining us and you missed the first half, you missed, well, some trench warfare at times. Both sides digging in and trying to play through and over the top, but nothing would stick. And eventually, after Wales' best quarter of the game, it was Vivianne Miedema who struck with a pearl of an effort from the edge of the penalty area for the Dutch side. And they lead by 1-0. So Wales with just that one change. The Dutch are unchanged coming out for this second half. Cameron Pope and Rhiannon Skinner on commentary on TalkSport 2. England are up later in just under 2 hours time. That's over on TalkSport. Joe Shannon and Tash Dowie will take you through England versus France. Also in Group D, where every game counts with 3 sides who will have expected, more than hoped, to be in the final 8 and 1. We'll be hoping to go even further on their debut in an international major tournament and cause a few surprises along the way. That goal will have hurt them just before the break. And it is the Dutch who are coming forward after 90 seconds in the second period when Esme Bruce goes crossfield towards Willie Woodham, the only player on a yellow card in this game so far. Remember, 2 will count you out of the next game. It's also 0-0 in the Club World Cup between Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich at half-time. That's live on TalkSport. As the Dutch try and meander away through the middle third with Victoria Pelova back into her own half when that doesn't come off. And you saw the pace peak and trough at times around in that first half. There were stints with not a lot happening, and then suddenly the counter was on and the game seemed to explode into life.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's still going to be opportunities.
And there might be one now here, because a long ball has come right down the centre of the park and played in Daniela von der Donk, and now she's got reinforcements joining her. Simple ball into the middle, and it's 2-0 for the Netherlands. Victoria Pelova with the goal. The Arsenal player only too happy, waiting for the cutback, no defender near her, and she strikes into the bottom corner. A move so simple in its making, straight down the park. Wales were caught out of place, and now the gap has grown to 2 goals, to either side of half-time, and the Netherlands have doubled their advantage.
Yeah, I was just looking to see if Van der Donk was offside here on this delivery, but she's just managed to stay on. She's timed it really, really well, and obviously drove into the box. Wales are trying to reorganise, and they've just let a player, I think Lily Woodham's just let her player run off the back of her shoulder there, Pelova, and it's just too easy in the box, to be honest. Just not tight enough there.
Well, if the first goal was a piece of mastery, that's one that could have been avoided. Wales will have to think. It was a nice ball from Daniela von der Donk to pick out her player, but there were a ring of red-shirted defenders around Victoria Pelova. Nobody had picked her up. She was square in the centre of the penalty area. Still had to make the finish, and did that without any problems. And now Wales are seeing the incline ahead of them grow ever steeper. Victoria Pelova adding to the damage inflicted late in the first period by Vivianne Miedema. And it is Wales 0, The Netherlands 2. Wales trying to make an instant response with Ella Powell getting her first touches of note. Back to control to Jess Fishlock, 25 yards out. Forced further away from goal here. Response now would be timely. Tight to the right-hand touchline, near side for Wales is Ella Powell. Down the line towards Holland, Kerry Holland that is. And the Dutch defender Brooks comes across to close her off. Some of the Dutch subs have gone away with Kerry Holland when she went to take that throw-in. And she's now ceded duties to make herself busy in the penalty area where Fishlock is controlled. Couldn't find a red shirt with the cross, however, and it's cleared by Dominic Jansen for a throw-in. Wales 0, Netherlands 2. Up to 50 minutes gone.
They've changed the shape a little bit, Wales, as well. So Jess Fishlock, Hannah Kane are more like a front two. So Jess is managing the player that's in the pocket just underneath when they're out of possession, but they're trying to be a little bit more aggressive. So Hayley Ladd and Harry James, Kerry Holland are then a 3 midfield just behind that. And the wing backs of Lily Woodham and Ella Powell are being allowed to jump out a little bit more. So it's a little bit more aggressive. And so if they can get pressure on a little bit higher, great. They might get some transitions. It's just centre-backs have got to be ready for anything over the top at that point.
Here come the Netherlands out from the defensive reaches, leading by 2-0. 50 minutes gone. On TalkSport 2, those are the words of West Ham boss Rhian Skinner. There's another boss, that of Wales, Ian Wilkinson. Peruses her options down from a technical area. Wales contingent, who were strong in voice throughout all of the first half, have been quieting somewhat for the moment, and they might be quieting further still because Van der Donk is coming forward. Pulls the ball out to the right-hand side. Netherlands attacking, looking for a third goal with Palova. Out to the right-hand side again. Apex of the penalty area. The cross did come in, but was cleared by Rhiannon Roberts. And Kane even keeps it in. Far side of Wales left up by the halfway line. She's battling with Palova. I thought there was an arm in the tackle. So did a few of the Dutch fans watching on. The referee wasn't to be moved. And back it goes to Daphne van Domselaar. The tempo is quieting down a little again after a frenetic start to this first half, but then saying that, here comes Niedermar trying to peel away on the left hand side, ball into the middle for Raw, off the crossbar, pinging back into the 18-yard box. Palova, she's looking for a second goal. Her ball is poor though, out towards Kirsten Kasperai. She put it behind the Manchester City fullback. It's a let-off for Wales, and well, it could have been 3-0 to the Netherlands.
Yeah, Jill Ward again there. She's just peeled off the centre-back. Gemma Evans got in between the two centre-backs, and Olivia Clark's come out really well to put her off, to be honest, and given her limited space. She's just tried to lift it over, but because of the angle the keeper's come out, it's gone high, hit the crossbar again for Jill Ward. So yeah, it's a let-off, and Wales just need to get on the ball a little bit more now and calm things down.
Looking at it on the monitor in front of me, I think Olivia Clark might have got the deftest of touches on that as well. It was an even better piece of action from the Wales number 1, who had those physical problems in the first half, but has seemed to be fine since. So 52 minutes gone. Let's get the thoughts of Abigail Davis. 7.5 minutes into the second half. Another goal, but damage limited.
Yeah, incredibly disappointing goal to concede that one, as the Netherlands on the attack again, an effort just wide of the target. But yeah, a hush has descended upon this stadium here in Luzern now, because that second goal is the one that will really hurt. The quality that we saw from the first, especially after those defensive improvements that were made in the first half, just made it so easy, didn't they, Wales, for the Netherlands with that second one. I think everyone inside this stadium wearing red was praying that Van der Donk hadn't time to run to perfection. She had done though. Wales really need to get their foot on the ball and just steady themselves at the start of this second half, or things could get a little bit ugly.
Thanks, Abigail. Wales 0, Netherlands 2. 53 minutes gone in Lucerne. You're listening to Women's Euro live on TalkSport 2 from McDonald's. Try the big arch now as Esme Brooks comes forward, 35 yards out. 1-2 with Fiona Meadham Miedema, who is in fact sought to pick out Kirsten Kasperij, far side the Netherlands right. Now a cross in from Palova, blue Dutch shirts in the middle, Miedema was one of them, and the header away came from Gemma Evans, and now Fishlock, centre circle, trying to burst away, looking downfield, trying to start an attack here for Wales, held it well by Hannah Kane, forward to Fishlock again in the penalty area but couldn't control it. She's starting to look a little tired there, Jess Fishlock, having run at a sprint the best part of 80 metres, and Wales showing they can still cause problems. Look to wanting a free kick actually for a coming together between Roberts and Miedema and halfway, but no, Wales have been allowed to continue their walk into the Dutch half. 54 minutes gone, still Wales 0, Netherlands 2.
I think just on that breakaway there, Jess Fishlock, Hannah Kane linked together well. I think it just shows they're trying to get some numbers closer to each other so that when they are in attack, there's actually better support so that they can be a bit more productive with it. And Fishlock and Kane just linked together really well. Just slightly overhit on the pass from Kane that made it difficult for Fishlock to get hold of in and around the edge of the box. And if she had, we've seen the goals she can score from those areas.
And the Dutch content with passing it around the defensive regions for the moment with Dominic Janssen. There is Brooks, still yet to make a change. The Netherlands, Wales having brought on Ella Powell for Esther Morgan at the halfway stage. And those 2 goals from Miedema before and Palova after half-time, setting the tone for the remainder. Netherlands knowing this is a game they simply have to win, really, given that coming games are against 2 sides. You have to say an equal or even better claim to a place in the quarter-finals in England and France, who meet later from 8 o'clock on Talk Sport. Netherlands forward, over halfway with Dominic Janssen, down the line towards Brooks, who skips inside Powell. Powell recovering and will concede the corner, but it could have been so much more for the Netherlands going in search of that 3rd goal and have a corner kick.
I think just that opportunity there, you know, Brooks is very quick, Ella Powell's quick, she's got the wrong side of her, Ella Powell, but she's just showed her pace there to get back into contention for the ball. Obviously it's led to a corner, but it's quite a good match-up for pace, to be honest, for Wales.
Approaching the hour mark, Netherlands looking for a 3rd without reply. Corner near side there left, to be taken by Jill Roord. Right elbow heavily strapped. Raises the left arm aloft, now whips it in on the right boot, deep towards the only pocket of the penalty area with no Netherlands players. However, the header away has gone straight to one. Oh, off the crossbar again. Long shot from distance, still not cleared. Jackie Hoonan it was with the effort. Into the penalty area for Van der Donk. Now out wide right for Palova. Cutting in towards Brooks to the back post, and it's 3. And a clever finish from the Barcelona wing-back. It was floated over to the far post. Didn't have a lot of room to manoeuvre in. And with a flick of the boot, she's beaten the goalkeeper. And surely now the Dutch have beaten the Welsh. It's Wales 0, the Netherlands 3.
So disappointing, because actually Wales' setup was very good from the corner and the delivery wasn't great. Wales actually had more time to get hold of that, but the clearance was maybe lack of communication. Clearance goes out. Jackie Groenen, obviously she takes the shot from range, hits that crossbar, and then it's just that switch off. You've got to work so hard in these moments to reposition, make sure you're marking, deal with players, and the back post, they just creep in at the back post between Ella Powell and Gemma Evans. Captain and then Bruce comes round the back. It's just such a difficult one to take.
Vika Kaptein was the player trying to head just in front of Esme Brooks as the Barcelona scorer peeled away. And I thought the Vika Kaptein might have been offside, but she pulls out of a jump at the last minute. I think that's why this goal is being allowed to stand with the Netherlands fans in raucous voice. So Esme Brooks with an 11th international goal, surely now taking this game beyond the reach of Wales, despite a very gallant first half. We are now back underway after any time for a check. So for now, for Wales, I guess it has to be different. Leanne Skinner, this game is now gone. Is it about limiting the damage? Is it about thinking about the games to come? Is it about the confidence? Are you looking for your personal battles?
Yeah, I mean, I think individually everyone wants to put in a performance, so they've got to stick at it and they've got to make sure that they're as effective as they can. There will still be opportunities, especially on transitions, I think, when Wales get the press right and when they progress with a little bit bit of numbers and a little bit more composure, they'll get a chance, you know. And obviously at that point, it's about being able to take these chances and keep that composure. But, you know, I think it's important that the squad gets the opportunity as well in these moments. Let's get some changes into the game. Let's, you know, give people an opportunity to change the outcome.
Here's an outcome that could hurt Wales even more, with Rood striking from distance, palmed away by Clark. She was a good 25 yards out there. The Twente player put that one towards the bottom corner, and it was parried away by the goalkeeper, and Wales have managed to clear their lines at the second attempt, and the Netherlands are finding more and more space now on the edge of the penalty area. And as we saw at the end of the first half with Vivianne Miedemar's fine effort, they can hit them from distance.
Yeah, I mean, when your shape's good and you're organised, to be honest, and there's nothing in behind, then players like Rood, like Miedemar, like Van der Donk, they will take shots from distance. So it's still about getting pressure on. You can't just keep backing off. You've got to go and step out and just limit the options.
Netherlands in full control then as the hour mark approaches. 3-0 they lead. Abigail Davis, your thoughts as we approach the hour?
Yeah, as soon as that third goal hit the back of the net, the Wales players actually grouped in a huddle straight after. It was Hayley Ladd and Jess Fishlock, the two players delivering the words, and I'm sure the key message will have been to go back to basics, stick with their players, don't let them peel off you so easily, don't allow them to advance into these positions. But it was, of course, for that third goal, such a clever movement, that precision, the incisive passing movements, they're just significantly better, aren't they, from the Netherlands at the moment. But Wales, they'll be looking now to just put a bit of pride back into this second half performance, to try and re-establish the form that they ended the first half with. Kerry Holland on the ball right now, out on the right hand side, looking to get past her player, using Ella Powell. She's having to come back, but they're just trying to find their way, work an opportunity for themselves. They've been so hard to come by throughout this contest.
Well, they are trying to find some space, aren't they, in behind the lines, Wales, and as Abby said, Ella Powell trying to pull strings against Esme Brooks and get the touch she wants, and she has done that, and Wales have got themselves a corner out of virtually nothing. So 61 on the stadium clock now. Netherlands 3 goals to the good. Wales looking for a reply, and nearly 4,000 who've made the trip are hoping it's going to come from this corner. And still singing along as Lily Wooden prepares to take this corner kick. Red shirts in the centre. Can she find one of them? In swing on the left boot. Goalkeeper stayed at home towards the back post, and there were red shirts going for it. Gemma Evans got the closest. It came off the wrong side of her forehead, if anything, and harmlessly out for a goal kick.
Yeah, I think it's a positive delivery though. It's missed out that front post area. It's taken out the zonal players really for the Netherlands, and so there's an opportunity there for Wales. And Gemma Evans is very good aerially, so it's a good chance. I think we look like there are going to be some changes, I think, for Wales, but Netherlands have just played up off the front, dropped it back, and Kasperai is in behind now.
And here she comes, Kasperai with the through ball into Van der Donk, who went down under the challenge of Gemma Evans. I don't think there was much in it, and the referee is of the same opinion. So Wales 0, Netherlands 3. Not the start to life in Group D that Wales were hoping for. It looks so promising for 45 minutes as Kerry Holland takes a trick and turns around to find the free kick has gone against her with a shake of the head. The player who was throwing her body in harm's way multiple times in this game, but she's being penalised for leaving a footing on Jackie Hoyman as they went for a 50-50 ball in the centre circle. As Wales are preparing 2 changes. We've seen Rachel Rowe and Kaylee Barton getting ready to come up. Well over 150 caps between them. Wales don't want 4 experience, but in their first experience of a game major finals, they are finding themselves to be second best as Ella Powell receives a body check and goes down. 63 gone. The changes will come, but first for the Netherlands, Chastity Grant is going to make her way on, and it's Daniela van der Donk who is making way. Also Lynn Vilms as well, so Chastity Grant of Aston Villa, normally a right wing back, and Lynn Vilms a defender. Kirsten Kasperai is also going to make way. So first changes, Rianne, for the Netherlands.
Yeah, I think those are like-for-like changes pretty much. Wilms will replace Kasparai at right back, you'd expect. And Chastity Grant, she's more of a quick wide player, to be honest. Plays obviously Aston Villa in the WSL and has had a very good season, second half in particular. So I think it'll be interesting, that sort of pace that's coming on. And we've got some subs now for Wales, looking like Kayleigh Barton, you've mentioned, Rachel Rowe, Ffion Morgan also, which I think is a good opportunity to get a little bit more pace in that forward line as well.
The Wales are ringing the changes. Ffion Morgan is indeed getting ready to come on as we see Josie Green departing, as well as Jess Fishlock. Race is run. Kate has already departed. And so with still time to make an impact and impress Will Wilkinson, if not barring a minor footballing miracle, you'd have to say at this stage against such a team as the Dutch, to change the game. So Ffion Morgan, a striker without a club now, was at Bristol City. Kayleigh Barton also taking a shift this summer into coaching. His own was formerly at Charlton. Rachel Rowe and Southampton, WSL 2. So we're expecting a mix around of the shape here. Does this tie into what we were expecting?
Yeah, it's just trying to see there. Rachel Rowe's gone into midfield, so she's replacing Jess Fishlock's position. Kayleigh Barton's replaced Hannah Kane, like for like. Ffion Morgan's gone out on the left-hand side, so Hayley Ladd and Harriet James still in central areas. So potential change of shape to a 4-3-3.
It'll be interesting to see how this final 25 minutes pans out. We've got an injury now for the Netherlands. Jackie Hornan has gone down and she looks in considerable pain here. She was just caught by Hayley Ladd. Not innocuous enough at the time. Ladd was playing the ball on the left boot and just followed through, and she's caught her right underneath the knee. And she's in real discomfort here. And Jackie Hornan of Paris Saint-Germain is now sat up. In fact, she's going to have help in getting her boot off here. As the Dutch fans are resplendent in orange watch on, they'll already be thinking about the games to come. For Wales, next up in the week it's France, and the Netherlands taking on England. We're in action from 8 PM on TalkSport, taking on the French, who never won a women's major tournament but will fancy themselves to do so. Mark is already laid down by the likes of Spain with their heavy win on entry, 5-0 against Portugal. Germany yesterday, 2-0 winners over Wales as fellow debutantes in Poland. As we get back underway at the Almen Stadium, 66.5 minutes gone, Wales 0, Netherlands 3.
Yeah, and we are definitely looking at a different shape here for Wales. So they've gone into a back four with Powell, Roberts, Gemma Evans, just allowing them an extra body higher. And obviously, you know, with the Netherlands in a 4-3-3 shape, just allows them to match up in midfield a little bit more.
Let's see if the change of shape has paid dividends. And a goal, the first one in the major finals. And that will be a moment to treat those who've made the long journey over to Switzerland and parted with hard-earned cash for many of them, 3 games, and some hoping for more, the optimists among them. I'm thinking 2 cities, Wales, Lucerne, the central city of, and St Gallen in the northeast. This one not yet done though, a final quarter remaining, and here comes Kerry Holland in from the right flank into the penalty area, beat 2 players, and when Hornan the third approached, she lost her footing, apologises to her teammates as it's out for a goal kick. She's been busy, hasn't she, Kerry Holland? I can't think of a player I've seen running more.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is just more what she's about. She's running at people, she's taking them on, she's got a good entry into the box. Probably could have released it just before Jackie Cronin actually engaged, because there's a couple of Welsh players just underneath around the edge of the box that would have been in really good positions to receive for shots. It's more positive steps.
Well, there's been plenty to take positives from. Mainly in the first half, but also in the second. Wales kept the Netherlands out for 45 minutes and then some. It was the 3rd minute of added time in the first half when Vivianne Miedema looped the ball over Olivia Clark and found the net. And the second coming just after half time, Victoria Pelova picked up A moment of defensive laxness. 48 minutes and Esme Brooks tapping in after a cross to the back post by Victoria Pelova. That's where we stand. A generous portion still to go. There's an injury here for Ella Powell, who's gone down off the field after a grapple. The ball is with Daphne von Domselaar now. As she's off the field, she can receive treatment. Wales, though, are going to have to continue for the moment with 10 players. In fact, they're not going to be made to pay for it, though, because there's a missed touch by Lynn Wilms down the right flank, and out for the throw-in it goes. 3-0 to the Netherlands.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think it's a blatant foul. You know, she's basically been barged as she's made first contact, which has ended up in her being off the pitch, but it's definitely a foul. I think the only thing is potentially if there was an advantage played, I couldn't see that if that was what the referee signalled. But yeah, it's just becoming a real battle.
Oh, ball through the middle here, and the Netherlands could be in again. The flag has stayed down, and Chastity Grant went for it. And she pulled a shot across goal and doesn't find the target. And this could have been all too easily number 4. Waiting and waiting, it wasn't offside. Rhiannon Roberts, the deepest lying centre half. And then Chastity Grant went through and wrapped a shot across goal. Diving for it was Clark. Maybe she would have got there had it crept inside the post, but in the end it is to be a dead ball, and still 3-0 as the Dutch look to the bench. They're going to have their traditional captain Sherida Spitzer with, wait for this, and I had to check it a couple of times, 245 caps now. As she gets ready to come on, she's going to be joined by Wolfsburg forward Berenstein. It's the woman who gave us a moment of magic towards the end of the first half, with Diana Miedema, who is coming off 100 goals for the Netherlands, one of her best for number 100, right on the cusp of half-time to set the Dutch side off well. There's a warm embrace to Berenstein. Has one as well with her head coach Andries Jonker, serenaded by 3,000 plus Netherlands supporters as Sherida Spitzer comes on. Berenstein is taking up her place as well. Esme Brooks is the other player to go off. So a double change. Wales 3 goals down in this opener in Group D.
Yeah, I think it's worth mentioning what, Sherida Spitzer, for the Netherlands. What an unbelievable career today, and she's taken the captain's armband, rightly so, captain of the Netherlands for a long, long time, and just is so difficult to achieve that amount of games in your career. We were talking about it at the start, and it's just a huge credit to the professionalism that she shows and her availability, physically constantly being, available to play for her country.
It is an incredible total, and at only 35, she could well make it past 250, and we wouldn't be surprised. Netherlands leading Wales by 3-0. 71 and a half minutes gone. You're listening to Women's Euro Live on TalkSport 2 with McDonald's. Order the iconic Big Arch on the McDonald's app. Coming forward for the Netherlands, over halfway is Vika Kaptein. Tries a ball through the middle, over the head of Berenstein and into the clutches of Clark. He's had a crossbar rattled a couple of times in this game to add to the 3 times she'd had to pick the ball out the back of her net. I don't think she could have done much for the first 2. The third maybe she'll be disappointed to have been beaten at her post. The since departed Esme Brooks. Here comes Chastity Grant for the Netherlands, halfway inside the Wales half. Noise level still strong from the Wales supporters. With 18 minutes still to play. A loose pass by the Dutch. They were looking to play it out to the left-hand side and bring in Dominic Janssen, but misspot it as the Dutch royal family look on, and they look distinctly unimpressed. I'm told we've got Queen Maxima and Princess Ariane who are coming to see if the Netherlands can set off on the right foot on this journey. And well, Wales, as we enter the second water break owing to the temperatures in New Zealand tonight, they can think forwards to midweek and they take on France, who again are another side who will fancy a crack at the trophy here. And they will know that in parts, if not in its entirety, they have cancelled out one of the best teams in the tournament.
100%. 100%. Yeah, I agree. I think this is such a tough group, as we spoke about at the start. I think the games are going to be intense. Wales will continue to learn from these types of games and to obviously take the positives from this, and every opportunity they have, they'll get better and better within this tournament. It's their first exposure to it. They'll definitely improve each game, and I think that's the biggest thing to take from this, and hopefully in this remaining part of this game, the Welsh fans do get a goal out of it as well.
So still 3-0 the Netherlands lead. Abby Davis, so 10 minutes since that triple change made by Rhian Wilkinson. What are you thinking? What's your thoughts on this new shape for Wales?
Yeah, one interesting thing that I've noticed just before that drinks break, Kerry Holland actually made her way over to the sideline to take on some fluids and instructions from Rhian Wilkinson. No doubting her work ethic this afternoon, but things just haven't come off for her out on the right, have they? At times she's had two on her, a few heavy touches, and it's just not really felt like her game. I don't feel like she's been fully involved in it in the way that we'd expect her to, and just as I say that, we have goal number 4.
Coming in 1-on-1 and trying to squeeze it in the goal. Well, it's an optical illusion that's fooled a few inside the ground, but it's gone wide of the post. Annette Berenstain bearing down on the goalkeeper, and they want to have a word with the ground staff, because I don't think that should have been allowed to happen. She threaded it past the keeper, the flag stayed down, it rippled the net, came back off the stanchion, it's tricked nearly everybody and bounced back out into the penalty area, but crucially it's gone the wrong side of the post. 15 minutes to go. Wales 0, Netherlands 3. That could become 4 from this corner, whipped in towards the goalkeeper who palms away, scooped out of the box by Anne Harrod-James. Wales have got players on the end of the penalty area to clear this ball. Now up top they go, a long ball down the park, but there was nobody there, and I've just seen a Wales player pull up as well in chasing out of her own half. It's Kerry Holland, and we were just saying, Leanne Skinner, how much she's run in this game. She went chasing that long ball and pulled up just inside her own territory.
Yeah, I think with the heat and with the amount of work she's done in this game, it's probably going to be cramp. Let's hope that's all it is. She doesn't look very happy, but she started to sprint there. Potentially, I'm not sure. She's not holding anything specifically. Not sure if it's a hamstring or a calf, but yeah, it's disappointing, I think, for her, for sure. Obviously this change to shape has tried to give them an opportunity to get players higher and to get bodies up the pitch, which I think has worked, on a couple of occasions. So let's hope that there's a substitute ready if she can't carry on, because Wales need to just keep this energy.
Well, it's not looking good for Kerry Holland. She's having her leg stretched out for the Wales physio team. They have made 4 changes so far, Wales. They've got one more to use, and they've got two more, I should say, substitution breaks. But Kerry Holland, such a dynamo that she is, nearing 50 caps, the Liverpool player, so key going forward. She will be a big loss if she's unable to carry on, and the time she stayed down for, I just don't see it being a possibility, not with big games to come as well. This game is 3-0 to the Netherlands. Esme Brooks with the goal that's wrapped it up beyond any doubt so far. There could yet be more in the 14 minutes to come, and they brought on the motorised cart that acts as a stretcher at these tournaments, but the positive sign is that Kerry Holland doesn't need it. She's with a wry smile taking herself off, but she looks rather upset. Wales is number 7. She's hobbled off to the side of the pitch. I don't think she's going to be able to take any further part in this game. There are a few glum faces among Wales supporters. Abigail Davis, let's get your take on this. She's such an important member of the side, and it's a sight that nobody in the Wales persuasion wanted to see us. In fact, Netherlands go long again towards Annette Berenstain. This one is not controlled, but Abby, the loss of Kerry Holland, that's going to hurt.
Yeah, before we get to that, every time you go to throw to me, I'm filled with dread, because it always results in a Dutch opportunity and normally a goal. So every time you throw to me, there is a dread that follows. But she is a huge part of this squad, and like I said, things haven't really been coming off for her. Her touch has let her down occasionally this afternoon, but the work that she puts in down that flank, it really is admirable, and she is such a key member of this Wales setup. Really disappointing to see her go off. She has just taken her place on the bench, so hopefully it's not too serious, but They're just readying a replacement now. I believe it is going to be Carrie Jones. Yeah, Carrie Jones is preparing on the sideline. She is going to be taken to the pitch. Many people thought, of course, she'd be in the starting 11, but an opportunity now maybe for her to run at some tired legs.
Thanks, Abby. 12 minutes to go. Dutch fans making more and more noise now. They lead by 3-0 in this Group D opener from the Women's European Championship. England coming up on TalkSport from 8 in their game against France, as Wales having given the Netherlands problems, no doubt about it, in the first half. They've been undone by a superior force in the second, and they're still playing with 10 players. Carrie Jones getting ready to come on and replace the injured Carrie Holland, as chasing forward there goes Fionn Morgan, but in vain. The ball comfortably got back to the goalkeeper from Domselaar, who clears out to the Netherlands right-hand side. Chastity Grant stops. It will be a Netherlands throw. And finally, I think that Wales change is ready to be made. And indeed, on comes Carrie Jones, 21 years old, already nearing 40 caps. Plays her football for Norrköping in the strong Swedish league. Scored a winning goal against the Republic of Ireland to send Wales to the finals. And the goal now is likely to be a consolation, but it would be a reward too for the good football that Wales have played.
Yeah, and I think, it's been really positive since the change, actually. Sometimes, you're at a point where you've absolutely know you've got nothing to lose, and so it kind of gives you a bit of freedom in a strange way when this is a scoreline. But I think there's still opportunities in Wales. There'll be chances here. Carrie Jones, Fionn Morgan, Kayleigh Barton, all really positive attacking threats. So I think the subs now that have kind of in some instances maybe been forced a little bit, I think they're a positive change, and as I said when we were talking about the scoreline, you want to get your squad involved. Everybody wants to make sure that they've contributed, and I think that this is a great opportunity for these players now to say, I want to start the next game, because that's what everybody's fighting for.
Chelsea fans have young interest in Fela Bowman in the Dutch back line, but she's just limped off to the side of the field to be replaced by Wolfsburg's Caitlin Dijkstra. And that should be like for like enough in the heart of the defence as the Netherlands come forward looking for their foot. And plenty inside the stadium thought they already had it when Lynette Berenstain came close and rippled the outside of the net one-on-one with Olivia Clark, who's done a good job of keeping the scoreline down in this game, as has the Wales woodwork. We've been given the attendance figures, by the way, just a smattering of vacant seats, because in a 16,000 seater arena, 14,137 seats are full. And now almost 4,000 travelling from Wales, and just under that coming from the Netherlands. Plenty of neutral interest as well. Well, so that Wales played their first qualifier 32 years ago in Cwmbran against Switzerland in front of 345 fans. Well, it just shows you how far they and how far women's football has come.
Yeah, what a great stat. Cwmbran, I know Cwmbran as well, and it's not a huge ground, that's for sure. So I think this is just a testament, as we said at the start, all the hard work that's been put in, and these players that have been a part of a product that basically meant more training available, college program to try and enhance the opportunities for Welsh players, trying to evolve the league in Wales, players playing outside of Wales to try and gain more experience, going professional, etc. That whole process has been long in the making, and it's really positive to see some of these players that have come through all of that, in particular the younger ones, Fionn Morgans, Carrie Jones, etc. Those are the up and coming players.
Still got 8 minutes to go in this one. Wales 0, Netherlands 3. They're battling away here, the Wales, to try and get a goal with Rachel Rowe, who's hurt herself in grappling with Dominic Janssen on the edge of the Dutch penalty area. A heavy touch though from Jackie Groen, who had to protect the ball from the oncoming red shirts. And Wales conceded a throw-in from the battling with Carrie Jones. But the strength they've shown against an opponent superior in ranking and experience, well, it's a good marker for the games to come against France and then England on match day 3. You can follow it all across the TalkSport network as the Dutch come forward again looking for goal number 4. Through the gap it goes towards Berenstain, into the penalty area, and this time it is in from Berenstain, but the flag has gone up. And twice you might, the substitute just can't find the goal. It was a through ball beyond the stretched legs of the defence. Lily Woodham couldn't keep it away. And Berenstain, who'd gone just a tad too early, struck it well into the roof of the net. Goalkeeper couldn't get there. The flag was raised, and it does stay. Netherlands with a 3-0 lead.
I think that, to be honest, I'm glad she's offside, but because that is a really superb finish on the turn. You know, she's running away from goal, she turns and rifles it into the net. I mean, I think, obviously, for Wales there, she's just trying to run in between Berenstain, but they've managed it well overall, and I think that's the biggest thing, is that they're getting forward, they're still staying diligent to the job, and the thing that I've liked in the last 10 minutes, really, is 1v1s were all over the pitch for Wales, have been so much better, just more aggressive, getting closer and tighter to the Netherlands, and a lot of turnovers have happened in the opposition half because of that. Maybe at times it's just been a little bit too nice, which is uncharacteristic actually, but now everything they're competing, 1v1, tackles are going in, turnover again we're watching now. Hayley Ladd's just done exactly what we're talking about. And I think
Wales
that's
might win this back here on the edge of the penalty area too. A shot from distance from Rachel Rowe, and she was in between the lines, didn't quite connect with it properly. Netherlands are starting to break. Those the thoughts of West Ham boss Rhian Skinner, former Wales assistant manager. But they're going to be one of the stories going forward still, Wales. And there was a point in this game where I feared that the scoreline might get a little bit ugly. After the half-time break, went straight back out on the pitch. It's 2-0 Palova, shortly after 3-0 Brooks, and well, they've stemmed the flow since then.
Yeah, I think so, and I think if you look at the numbers in advanced positions even now for Wales, it's so much better. They're having to commit, I appreciate that, because they're 3-0 down, but this type of positivity, if it was done a little bit earlier, might have actually created more chances.
Well, lessons to be learnt as we enter the final 5 minutes of this game. There's been a goal over on TalkSport, by the way, in the quarterfinals of the Club World Cup. Paris Saint-Germain are 1-0 up on Bayern Munich. Desiree Doué, the Golden Boy, but they've just gone down to 10 men, so you can catch the concluding 7 minutes or so of that over on TalkSport, where you can also get England kicking off their campaign, the defending champions, against France from 8 p.m. Wales have a free kick, 5 to go in this. They trail by 3 goals to 0. Woodham, 35 yards from the corner flag, straight to the touchline, wafts it into the 18-yard box where Netherlands clear their lines. They're looking defensive now, the Dutch players. Back to Woodham it goes, near side the Wales right. Down the line, looking for a crossing opportunity here. Into the penalty area. There was grappling from Rachel Rowe. Doesn't get the better of her defender. And running it away is the pacey Palova. In towards Berenstain. It's got Chastity Grant over her right shoulder. Into the penalty area now. This could be 4. Off the line. Brilliant defending. Superb defending by Lily Woodham. There in the nick of time to clear it away and save a certain goal. And the Netherlands will push again. But Wales aren't down just yet. And the long shot goes sailing over the crossbar. And the guts and desire from the young Lily Woodham. Well, that's what Wales are about.
It absolutely is. I'm delighted to see that, to be honest, because she's just worked so hard in the final third, putting in set play deliveries, but her attitude and desire to get back, as with several numbers there, Gemma Evans, Rhiannon Roberts, and Harry James, they're all working so hard to get back and to deny any further opportunities.
3.5 minutes to go. Listening to TalkSport 2, where it's Wales 0, Netherlands 3. Netherlands shaping up nicely for their assaults on the knockouts. Anything less will be seen as a failure for them if our outgoing coach Andrew Schonker seems to have put behind them a less than perfect qualifying campaign, and some noise surrounding the camp coming into the game. There's things Wales were trying to take advantage of. Ball in from Dominic Janssen now into the penalty area, and misses everybody, and behind for a Wales goal kick. And so moments ticking down. Just one more game to play on match day 1. Everyone else has played as we build towards the latter stages of a tournament that in recent iterations has given us plenty to talk about. England, not the same England perhaps you might say as 3 years ago on home turf. We'll find out later on. Here comes Chastity Grant into the penalty area. Shouts of handball against Gemma Evans as she slides in to clear. Not taken seriously though, and Wales do clear the ball away. 3-0 they trail.
again, just Gemma Evans, just committing there. Lily Woodham was higher and Chastity Grant's free coming in on that side, so she's got to commit to the tackle and she's timed it really well. I mean, in terms of her actual tackling, she's tough to beat, Gemma Evans, and I think she's done a fantastic job at that today.
Well, starting from the back. Rhiannon Roberts forward over halfway with air on the ball, held up by Kayleigh Barton. Draws the attention of Dominic Janssen, the defender. Headed away by the Manchester United player. Taken down by Kayleigh Barton, 35 yards out from goal. Promising for Wales here. Into the final 2 minutes. 3-0 they trail. And the captain James out to the left-hand side she'll go. Woodham looking down the line. Really now tried to get the turn on Wilms, who will put the ball out for a Wales throw. A smattering of applause from the Wales fans, none of whom are leaving as they look for a consolation. Ladigan of Everton with the 1-2. Now spaced by the byline, cuts in an under-hit cross though. The Netherlands have got it clear with Spitzer. Taken down by Roord on the edge of her penalty area. They're comfortable on the ball, aren't they, Netherlands? They're confident, and it's something I guess that comes with major tournament experience.
Yeah, just on that last run, it was a really clever bit of play. I think Hayley Ladd thought she was offside, so she slowed her run right down and then it wasn't given, so she probably could have put more on the cross. But again, Wales in possession in the Netherlands half of the pitch.
And here comes Woodham into the final minute now. Can they get a goal? Wales deep cross, too deep. And she looked disappointed with herself there, Woodham. Trying to hook it into the path of Rachel Rowe, but it went well beyond the whitewash. And Netherlands will restart with a goal kick. And we've known for a long time they'll be starting their campaign with 3 points. Wales looking to the future now. And they will take on France, hoping that England can do the damage tonight. So maybe a draw would be the best result. I guess they'll be hoping for as many draws as possible, given the stacked credentials of all the teams in Group D. But you can tell nothing definitive from from day one of a major tournament.
I mean, I think the first thing is performance. The second thing is get yourself a goal. That's something that they've not achieved before. Make history again with that. Get yourself a point. Get yourself 3 points. Any of these are milestones for Wales now, just in the tournament in general. These next 2 games that have come in, these are things that they're little steps, but they make a big difference as to what the outcome can be at the end.
25 added minutes, 15 seconds of which have passed. The Dutch looking for goal number 4 with Wilms crossing in towards Berenstain. Right up off her instep, out to the edge of the penalty area. Still the blue shirts of the Netherlands in control with Palova. Putting back, holding the control. They've not relinquished it for long in this second half. 2 goals to add to 1 from Miedema in the first as Wilms crosses out for a corner. And it was taken rather painfully by Lily Woodham, who got herself in the way of that. Winded, but pulls herself to her feet. Netherlands fans raising the ante once again, hoping for that goal. They're all important in major finals. It's a statement win they want to be beginning with. But the Wales fans are having a party up in the rafters.
Yeah, there's no shortage of support, that's for absolute certainty. I think you can hear them constantly. We heard the national anthem not long ago again in the crowd as well, spurring them on.
Here comes Spitzer with the corner. Headed away by Wales, drops in the 18-yard box for Hrönen. Oh, it went all the way through and wide. And Jackie Hrönen, we've seen her hit pile drivers towards the Wales goal in this game, and that was another. Didn't quite get the connection she wanted. It could have been flicked on in the penalty area as well by Caitlin Dijkstra, who swung the right boot at it. That could have deviated it into the net. In the end, though, it's out for a goal kick. The Wales fans having a party behind Olivia Clark's goal. And indeed, on call we can hear the national anthem being blared out with a trumpet for an accompaniment once again. But we'll go again, Wales, in 4 days' time. And knowing that at moments in this game and segments they have brought some good football, but they're defending again now. Ball through the middle for Berenstain. How many times have we said that in the second half? But Clark diving at her feet is brave and has really hurt herself in the process. Well, she went straight to the feet of Berenstain, who went after the ball. I don't think the Dutch player caught the goalkeeper. I think the pain was due to the landing from Olivia Clark, the Leicester goalkeeper down, and I think experiencing a touch of cramp. We're halfway through the added time. Wales 0, Netherlands 3. Let's get the thoughts of Abigail Davis.
Yeah, first outing at a major tournament, and I think you can say lessons will certainly have been learned. But for a 12-15 minute period, really, Wales acquitting themselves really impressively in this one. Many of us had the main hope that Wales would give a good account of themselves and show that they're worthy of a seat at the top table. And I think on the whole they've shown, haven't they, that they're not too far away. It is all about small margins as Liv Clark returns to her feet. Sophia Patel has been warming up on the sideline, but it does look like Olivia Clark is going to be able to see out this game. As I said, it is all about small margins, not getting close enough and allowing Viv Miedemar too much space for the first goal, not marking tightly enough for goal number 2. But I think the main difference in this one has been Wales just struggling to carve out clear-cut opportunities. The Netherlands with another one here, but the shot has sailed over the crossbar. And as I said, Wales just not really able to test the keeper enough in this match. I feel like that's probably going to be their main issue going forward as well.
Yeah, a hairy moment there for Olivia Clark, who is thankfully okay to carry on, but then didn't help her defence with the ball she played out. Victoria Pelova could have done better there with her shot cruising over the crossbar. The ball gifted back to the Dutch. We've got 1 minute of the 5 added remaining. There might be a little bit more to come after it. Stick around on the TalkSport network as Wales come forward here, actually. Long ball down the middle, and they might be in. A chance to hook the ball back into the centre, maybe for Kayleigh Barton. Has she got comrades arriving? Red shirts in the penalty area. Ricochets back to her. Corner of the box. Fionn Morgan is joining the hunt going forward, and the offside flag has come up, and it's not to be in Wales's hunt for a goal. We thought it might just fall into place, that final piece, right at the end of the game, but as we enter minute 95, it is going to remain Wales 0, Netherlands 3. Well, we've got the thoughts already of our Wales reporter Abigail Davis. How about you, Leanne Skinner? We've been summarising through this game about the waxing lyrical at times about performance, about the belief they'll garner from this, but it is always going to be a sour mood after a defeat, and I guess it's the job of coaches like yourselves to pick up your side and look for the positives.
Yeah, I mean, I think when they go back through the plan for the game, there'll be things that they've achieved really, really well, and obviously that'll be Rhiann's focus. It'll be these things we've done really well, we managed them for this period of time, you solved this problem, great. Like, those are the bits that we're going to have to do again in the next game, but how do you then make those bits better? Where can we get these little margins to improve our performance even further? You know, there's not been a shot on target in this game, unfortunately. That's definitely something that I think they're closer to doing at this stage of the game now, because they're so much more positive with the numbers, with going forward, with the quality that they've had in and around the final third. That's something. There's got to be a little bit more bravery, a little bit more confidence and belief in the final third, and that's, I'm sure, what they'll be told, you know, and they'll know themselves from this game now that there would have been opportunities there that they just need to be a little bit braver to take, but it's a better performance as the game's gone on.
And that game is